if you're in a relationship that is not working for you, that is not serving you, that like keeps coming back around into your life and it still doesn't work for you, get the out.
Gabby Bernstein, a role model for spiritual seekers.
You know, I had been with Toby for 14 years. I was a little kid and this is all I knew. And we built this beautiful family together and had these two incredible kids. And I knew that our feelings had changed for each other. I also knew that we really loved each other, that we really respected each other, that we really loved our family. But I also knew that we both knew it without really saying it. And over time, we realized like this marriage had taken its course. But I had grown up. I mean, my parents are divorced and, you know, I know a lot of people who are divorced. And although my parents did an amazing job, I wanted a completely different divorce. And I had never been shown how to do it. I had never been shown this is the way divorce can be. You know, I had my small group of best friends who were incredible, but I was scared. I didn't know it was a whole different life. And it was some tough days right at the beginning. And I had said, like, I really want you to consider starting couples therapy with me, with this new person, this guy, Dr. Habib Sadeghi. I'll just say his name too, because he saved us, whatever. And I said, I'd love you to consider starting couples therapy with me for this breakup. He's like, what are you talking about? We're breaking up and we're going to start, you know, couples therapy. Right. And, you know, and he was ready and he was willing. And I think that one thing I can say is you do need both people to come to the table. Amen. To keep your family together. And one thing I knew about Toby and I is that we loved our children more than anything in the world. And we didn't want to go through any custody battles and we didn't want to go through any fighting. And we really loved each other. There was nothing ugly in our divorce. There was no cheating. There was nothing ugly, bad, mean. It was just like two people who started out as kids and we grew in different ways and we grew separately and we grew together. Toby and I mean, I've said it before, but like, we do the work and the work is really hard, but one thing we do not do is ever give up on each other. And we put our relationship above everything. So then we can have the relationship we want with our children as a family. I mean, do I look tan? Because I just got off like an 8-day vacation. It was me, Toby, Ruby, and Otis. The four of us just like took off together.
Really?
Totally.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Jen, oh my God, I have full body chills. Wow.
And it was not a wrinkle. It was a perfect trip. We had the best time together. And it was like, it literally was like, I mean, it was like traveling with my brother, you know what I mean? And he would definitely say the same thing, you know? And we just got each other's back. I mean, there have been really hard moments, or there's been moments where we've been angry at each other or frustrated with each other or thinks that somebody's not parenting in the way that the other one would want the other one to parent or, you know, I mean, I could give a whole list of things. And really taking the time to listen to each other, not fight with each other, hear each other's side. I mean, I would literally do anything in the world for him. He is the greatest ex-husband on planet Earth. I mean, I know I could count on him. It's true. It's like I could count on him for anything and everything. And I know I can for a lifetime.
What I love most about what you're saying is, you know, a lot of times people get a divorce and they just give up on the marriage. They're like, okay, we're done. Bye. You know, you're like, let's now get into therapy, right? Like, let's do the work right here, right now. And not just for the kids, for you, for your well-being, for your future relationships, for his future relationships, for your family and connection. I mean, what an interesting, I mean, I can't imagine that that's a typical thing for women or men that get divorced. It's like, okay, moving on, not going to invest in this anymore.
Yeah.
Or you did the opposite. You're like, I am going to invest in this relationship for myself, for him, and for our children. And wow, what a benefit.
But I do think it's what you said. It's about manifesting. It's like we all see things that other people have, right? And you've talked about this a lot, whether it's an amazing job, whether it's an amazing relationship, whether it's an amazing house, whether it's whatever the case may be. I don't really know. But we all see other things, which we think, ooh, how do I let that into my life, right? So I got the opportunity to see a friend and her divorce and decided, okay, I'm going to manifest that. I don't know how I'm going to manifest it. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I will tell you something about manifesting for myself. I kept my eye on the prize, and the prize for me was a happy, healthy, fractured, but together family.
Yeah.
And nothing was going to get in the way of that for me. I was going to be a family with Toby and my children for the rest of my life. Because that was my only option. I am not going to I want to be with my kids every single holiday. And if I start fighting with Toby, he's going to have them one Thanksgiving. I'm going to have them one Christmas, forget it. I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. I wanted us to all be together. And I also remember there's a reason why Toby and I met. There's a reason why we came together.
You made these children. You started this family. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm stuck with him. So make the best of it or don't.
What's also cool is you used Gwyneth and Chris as sort of driftwood, as we've talked about, right? So it's
yes.
You're going through this breakup and you see in your friend who's very publicly talking about conscious uncoupling and really being very, very forthcoming and brave to talk about her divorce. And you're rather than looking at that and being oh, well, that's just for her or that's just them because of their relationship. You're no, that's actually showing me what's possible.
Yeah.
And there's two ways we can go when we see people who have what we want. We can say, oh, well, I can't have that, so I'm just going to be the victim. Or we can say, no, I want that, and I'll do whatever it takes to get to that spot. That is also where I think you are right now. It's you've been wanting to feel, alive and connected, and you've gotten that. Again, you are a genuine super attractor, my friend. You've done a lot of super attracting in your career as well. Your career is major and you've really put an imprint on the jewelry space, but also someone who's creating mindful art, truly.
No.
There's a meaning and an intention behind what you create because you're creating something that someone can wear that has an energy frequency, not just because of the precious gems or the what you're using, but really because of the intention that's behind the art. So
listen, I'm all about luck and love and good energy. And listen, I'm wearing my good luck charm right now. I never take off my good luck charm. I think that we want to surround ourselves with love. We want to surround ourselves with happiness and good fortune and protection, and just remind ourselves every day, we got this. You know what I mean? You want to let love into your life, let love into your life. You want to feel lucky, you are lucky. You know what I mean? You want to feel protected, you're protected. Just feel it and know it. And I think when I design my jewelry, there is I always think turquoise, it's a very protective stone. Who doesn't love a diamond? I'm happy to feel a little, blingy and beautiful in my diamonds. And then the good luck charm or the evil eyes that I do, or a lot of hearts. I just think that there's always some sort of intention behind the pieces that I design.
Again, another manifesting method. It's intention, intention, intention. If the intention behind the work is just backed with energy, then it's going to have a frequency that, one time a mentor of mine said that the energy that I put into every word that I write in my books it will be imprinted in every reprint of the book. So every page has that same intention in it. And I would say that every time a new piece of jewelry is made in the factory, it has that Gen intention behind it. It's going to be infused. Mm-hmm. And I've seen that actually with some of my friends who are your buyers, and they say "Oh, I feel this with this wishbone. I feel that energy here." What was you've had a lot of so you've had this high vibe energy, but of course, as an entrepreneur, and you've been an entrepreneur for a long time and a successful one at that. What's been one of your hardest hurdles, and how did you think you overcame it?
I think. That's a good question. I don't really know how to answer that question. I think that whenever I've faced anything that could possibly be a hurdle, I'm just you know what? keep on going. You got to look at things as like a math problem. Like there's a solution to everything. So you can't stop and freak out or get upset or lose it. I mean, I had Barney's clothes in the middle of it being, you know, my number one account at the time. And a lot of jewelry disappeared and a lot of money was lost. And, you know, that could have been something that really set me back. But in that moment, it was like, we pivoted and it was like, we went online ourselves and we opened our store and we did all these other things that, you know what, became way more successful than Barney's ever was. So,
and set you up for the pandemic and everything else that was coming.
Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think you just got to look at things like, okay, here's the problem. We're finding a solution, not there's a problem and we're going to like crawl into a ball and cry.
Yeah. You and I share that quality. It's like, I am a solution seeker, not a problem fault finder.
Me too.
And it's just definitely a super attractor quality. So that's a good lesson for everybody listening. It's like, the moment that the issue arises, it's like, what's the solution we can find? And I mean, I'm in that situation right now, and something just shifted in our business. And it's like, okay, well, how are we gonna fix it? You know, what's the next? Exactly. You can't regret, you know, the things you can't control.
I think there's a couple things which I'm just thinking as we're talking. I think number one, when Toby had met somebody and he had a relationship, and I mean, we spent birthdays with her and Christmas morning and all these things. And I think I was like, this is his moment. This is great. I'm fully on board, rather than thinking, I don't have someone. This is a bummer. I don't like this. Why? I've got to do this. It was like all of a sudden we were a party of 5 on vacation and doing all this. And I was like, great. She's lovely. Awesome. He's happy. Like, great. Let's jump in. And I think that letting like blessings flow to other people, your blessings will flow to you. Like, I didn't think about it at the time, because I would never do that out of like, well, if I do this for him, I'm going to get it. But you also can't think like that. But I really believe, like, you know, you got to just let it all flow. Like, the universe is on your side. Like, whatever's happening is going to happen for the good. And I think, like, the other thing I can say is, like, if you're in a situation, if you're in a relationship, or let's just take a relationship, for example, like, if you're in a relationship that is not working for you, that is not serving you, that like keeps coming back around into your life and it still doesn't work for you, get the out. Like, I don't know what to say, but honestly, like, get the out, because it's not going to get better. And you are just blocking yourself from all the goodness that can come into your life. And I think that there was just a moment in my life where I was so happy and I was on my own and I was looking for nothing. I didn't even like, there was not anything that I was just like, oh, life is great. Like, I don't want anything. I don't need anything. Like, relationship or not, I've got the most amazing friends. You know, I've got the most amazing kids. Work is going incredible. I work with the best people. Like, everything's good. And then things fall out of the sky.
Letting blessings flow to other people, they will flow to you. So just celebrating that blessings are flowing to other people will bring them to you. So she wasn't going to take her ex-husband's relationship as like, oh, I'm a victim. He's got the partner. I don't have the partner. Woe is me. But instead celebrate it. Girlfriend, bam, good one. You talked about clearing the space, right? So if it ain't working, get the out. And that takes time. And we sometimes will go back and go back and go back. But eventually we got to do the work on ourselves to get to the place where we believe we can walk away. The biggest manifesting method of all when you're manifesting love, and Jen, this is the coolest podcast ever. I'm so psyched about it, is this embodiment of being in joy even when the manifestation isn't there yet.
Yeah.
So that
which is hard.
It's hard, but then you flipped the switch, right? So you decided, I'm going to focus on joy. You decided I'm going to focus on the good stuff rather than the lack. And so by focusing on the abundance in your life, you then became a super attractor for more abundance. So I really need to highlight this for everybody here. Jen, it doesn't matter how much you've got going on or how much you don't have going on in your life. Literally doesn't matter your circumstances whatsoever. You could have been Jen Meyer with all the best friends in the world, the thriving career, and still be sitting around pissed off all day because you don't have the relationship. There's plenty of people out there doing that, right?
Yeah.
There's plenty of people out there doing that. But instead she was like, nope, I'm going to focus on the good stuff. And I want to really point this out. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. You could be in the worst circumstances in the world, but still focus on what is thriving, and you're going to create more of what you want. Period. Yeah. End of story. So Jen said, I'm going to focus on the good stuff. I'm going to focus on my career. I'm going to focus on my friendships. I'm going to focus on my marriage. I'm not going to be looking for the lack.
And, I also have to say, like, you think in your head, you know what you want, or like what's on paper, right? You think in your head, like, okay, I really want to check these boxes, or like, this is what I'm looking for. You just really got to be open, because it comes, what you are attracting comes in all kinds of forms.
If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.